Hi, I am Annie Harrington. Welcome to the Pygmalion Film Festival. After viewing many different films, I am convinced that She's All That is the best one in conveying Shaw's spirit. Let's take a look. The main meaning of the play Pygmalion to Robert Shaw was that social status had no real reason to be in society, as Shaw was a socialist. The main meaning to viewers is that status is a label and, although inevitable, should be defiable. Shaw's main spirit throughout the play is exposing the creation of society's perceptions of class. Setting the scene for this spirit, Higgins says, "What is life but a series of inspired follies? I shall make a duchess out of this draggle-tailed gutter snipe." Higgins desires to transform a very low-class person into a high-class person, and how he does so is key. The transformation is made possible because of the appearances and qualities that he changes in Eliza to ultimately change others' perceptions of her. An example of status built from perceptions is also demonstrated in She's All That, making it a perfect extension of the play. Higgins transforms Eliza by attempting to change the way people perceive her in smaller aspects. In terms of her appearance, she changes from not at all a romantic figure to an exquisitely clean young Japanese woman, which changes her from the low-class standard to the high-class standard. Also, language builds her class, as being educated by Higgins makes a difference in her life and changes what people think of her. When she goes to a formal party, the hostess says, "Oh, of course I agree with Nepomuk. She must be a princess at least," when Nepomuk makes a comment about her status. This demonstrates that the language and appearance of Eliza provides others with the perception that she is of the higher class. Her association with Higgins makes people look at her as more highly because of who she is associating with, and the Einsford Hill family thinks that she must be a high-class person if Higgins is spending time with her. Eliza's status is not created from one quality, but rather constructed from many, which is the key to Shaw's spirit. Scholarly literary criticism also supports the spirit. In The Metamorphosis of Commodities in Shaw's Pygmalion, Lily Porin uncovers elements of the same spirit. Porin's literary criticism identifies education as a key to class change, saying that Henry not only demonstrates the power of education to shape individual identity, but challenges the legitimacy of the social hierarchy by undermining the aristocratic pretension that social privilege is a mark of innate worth. Porin demonstrates that access to education also helps to create an access to social standing, and describes the relationship between Higgins and Eliza as an educational ticket to the higher class. The education is creating Eliza's language, which is ultimately making people perceive her an idea that she is of the higher class. She's All That portrays the perceived creation of class through a modern high school social pyramid, with a transformation of a nerd to a prom queen. These ideas make the film the best choice for the festival. The ideas of physical and social appearance determining social status plays a big role in the movie. When Zach describes a very popular girl at school, he says, No, you're wrong. The Taylor Vaughn you just described is an illusion, a myth. You scrape away all that attitude and makeup, and basically you have a C- GPA and a Wonder Bra. Zach believes that Taylor's appearance creates her identity, similar to the way that it does the same for Eliza. Because Zach believes this, he tries to change Lainey through her appearance. It works, and the other people think pretty means popular, so she goes to a popular party and encounters Taylor, who says, "To everyone important here, you're litter. You're spam, a waste of good yearbook space." Taylor shows that her dislike towards Lainey and this relationship downs her social class. People see what Taylor, the girl perceived as the most popular girl at school, thinks, and take her opinion as valid. They can change their mind about Lainey's social status because of what they see on the outside. Shaw's spirit of perceived status is also present in She's All That. There's more. Not only do I see this spirit present in the film, but movie reviewers do too. In a New York Times review, Holden writes, "No matter how much the world changes, the cast of the typical American high school system seems inviolable. The jocks, cheerleaders, and pretty people rule, while the nerds, arty types, and bookworms remain the untouchables." This relates to Shaw's spirit in play in the way that Eliza's job was a definition of her class because people thought that a flower girl automatically meant poor. The author writes about this when Zach goes to an art night with Lainey and describes him being able to discover his quote-unquote inner nerd. We know nothing changes about Zach, but since people see him involving himself in something that would not normally be cool, his status is downgraded in a matter of scenes. Another movie review exemplifies the spirit of this film, and its portrayal of Lainey as a transformation from an ugly duckling to a swan. The metaphor is key to the spirit because when a duckling changes, it stays the same bird but grows different wings, and people see it differently, and Lainey and Eliza do the same. Although it is the best choice for portraying Shaw's spirit, it is not completely perfect. Shaw ends the play without any conflict resolved between Higgins and Liza and writes in his sequel, romance keeps its stock of happy endings to misfit all stories. In Shaw's opinion, a happy ending was not fit to satisfy the overall spirit. In She's All That, Lainey and Zach end up together, creating the happy ending that Shaw tried to avoid. Although this is not perfect, there is clear reason for the ending. The teen audience of She's All That expects a happy ending, while adults, the Pygmalion audience, appeal to reality. Unlike the relationship between Higgins and Eliza, the relationship between Zach and Lainey was never hostile, so a happy ending was in order. Additionally, the ending remains similar because it still leaves unanswered questions about the relationship, like Higgins and Eliza and Pygmalion. Overall, the ending of the play still does hit some of Shaw's main points. She's All That is the best choice due to its presentation of Shaw's spirit of class as perceptions in a high school social status setting. Zach's aiding Lainey in class transformation demonstrates the changing of someone's perceived class. She's All That hits on and adds qualities to a new modern setting. I hope you enjoy She's All That as a clear representation of Shaw's spirit and select it as the best. We're excited.